Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You already know what time it is. Yes, sir. We are back. We are back in the building. Welcome to High School Basketball Weekly. I am your host, Glenn Poole Harding.
And your guy, Brian Reichert.
Oh, yeah. Definitely my guy. We got a very special guest tonight. As y'all see on the bottom of the screen, we got New York City legendary high school coach, Dwayne Tiny Morton. Man, y'all don't want to miss this. Sit back and enjoy the ride, baby, because we definitely going on the ride tonight. What's happening? Yo, Coach B, I am very excited. Man.
Oh, yeah.
You know, again, we got another personal show tonight. It's personal to me because not only that, our next guest is a New York City legendary coach. He just happened to be my point guard in high school that led us to our, school's second city championship, but the first one in the modern era. And with all the great players and point guards that came before him, he was the one that got the job done. And then became the coach and won even more. So without further ado, he really got it. Hey, we gonna blow a big whistle for my boy tonight. Introducing the one and only Dwayne Tiny Morton.
Yeah.
Yo, that's crazy.
What's happening, man? Yeah.
Coach.
What's going on? I appreciate that. I just got one issue.
What's up?
I was sitting here and I'm watching the video and the footage. I didn't see one Lincoln footage, bro. But it do say weekly, so I guess Lincoln ain't rocking this week.
Yo, before you came on and I watched the intro, I was like, yeah, I didn't have one Lincoln piece. Yo, let me tell you something, man. I get so much flack by always talking about Lincoln and bragging about Lincoln, and
it's true.
I'm just gonna have to rub it in their face, right, Tiny? I guess, right?
Yeah, you have to. We got to know.
That's right. That's right. Know. Facts. So definitely next time y'all see this intro, we gonna have some Lincoln stuff in it for sure. Definitely gonna do that, man. Hey, listen, man. Welcome to the show, man. I want to definitely just get right into this, man, because we have so much to cover, right? We have so much to cover, and I just want to start off with this, right? Because of course, one of my last biggest interviews was with Stephon Marbury, and he was naming all these players that influenced him, and he was like, yo, Tiny was one of those guys that influenced me. Now, do you realize, now I know you get a lot of like great coaches compliments and all of these things, and for me who's seen it personally, I'm the guy who's always talking about how good you was. But to get someone like Stephon Marbury saying it and putting a stamp on it, what does that mean to you? And did you really realize how good you was?
You know what? For a coach and just for a friend or mentor, that kind of completes your life when you get someone on that stage that can verbally say that, you had influence or, I took something from you. So that's big time. That's big time for me, especially because he's one of the reasons why I started coaching basketball at Lincoln anyway. To answer your second question, no, I don't know how good I was or how good people thought I was because we didn't have this social media to look back at it. We just kept moving. You know, we had newspaper articles. We'd see it, we keep moving.
Yo, Tiny, and I'm not just saying this because I played with you. I played with some great point guards. I played with Kenny. I played with Ross Strickland. I played with Boo Harvey. I played with Malloy Naismith. I played with a lot. I played with Speedy Williams. I played with Corey Williams. I played with a lot of I played with Charlie Roberts, Mel Hawkins from Roman Catholic Philly. Like I played with some very good point guards, man. And yeah, you definitely top 5, bro, on the real. Like you carried us, a bunch of no-name guys. We didn't have one all-city player. Like Bernard and Sean got recognized at the end of the year once we won it.
Yeah.
But no one can name our starting 5, bro.
That's a fact. That's a fact. But that was that was because we had a great coach, you know, who didn't care about big names. He just coached what he had on the floor. You know, so I definitely took some of that. You know,
Yeah,
my coach career.
No, you're right.
Coach Hartstein.
Now, can you talk more about the impact that Coach had, not only on you as a player, but kind of your coaching style or anything you picked up from your high school coach?
Well, you know, I didn't grow up with a father in the house, so I learned a lot of discipline when I got to high school playing basketball. You know,
yeah.
Actually, my freshman year, because I played around the AU scene a little bit before I got to high school.
Yeah.
My freshman year, I thought I was supposed to be a starter, so I tried to get out of there and go across the street to Grady. And the league didn't allow that. And that following year, I started, and we ended up winning the city championship. But you know, he stood his ground, and he was disciplined. And that's sometimes young guys like me, we run away from that. You know, we try to fight that, and we just leave or break out and do something else. But that was my first lesson of being disciplined and having like a father figure.
Yeah, it was almost like the first time you kind of felt a little like adversity as an athlete. And of course, a lot of the natural instinct is, man, I could just go somewhere else and not deal with this. But to stick it out, I think that definitely, made you who the player you were. It definitely made a big impact. I think it probably pushed you to a whole nother level, when you think back on it.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm writing a book, and part of my book is kind of like what the things that you can't blueprint. Like I never knew that me staying at Lincoln would help me out, and then give me a chance to help other people out. Because I have had times in my life where I could leave, or I did leave and come back. It seems like every time I decided to stay or come back, I had a chance to touch somebody else's life, which is excellent.
And you know what the sad part about this, Coach B? I found out he was going to leave when we were grown ass men. Like I was like, what you mean you was going to leave? What? What do you mean? Like, listen. I credit you. And I always talk about Bernard Mitchell, one of the sad cases in basketball history that he never got a chance to play college basketball. Was definitely our most dynamic player on the team, but we couldn't do it without the point guard, right? And I love my guy Josie Watkins. I spent some time with him when he came up here. Love you, Josie. But you was the difference maker because not only you had the experience of playing other places. Like Josie didn't really leave Coney Island that much. You was able to play in Bed-Stuy, Queens. You was all over and you saw these guys. So it made things better for us because you already knew what to expect from a lot of these point guards we were facing.
That's a fact. Definitely.
And who knew Antoine Lewis said you was the best point guard he ever played against?
Oh, that's big. I remember that game too. That was crazy. I remember that. That's crazy.
That's crazy, man. That's so much history, man. So much history. Now, I was told by UConn associate head coach Kamani Young that you taught everyone the business of basketball. How true is that statement?
I don't know about everyone, but whoever had an eye on what I was doing, it kind of was, how can I say? It kind of was like above life, to be honest. And it wasn't something that it was on the job training. Basically, it was instant. It wasn't like something I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I kind of watched Stephon history. Obviously, I watched my history. Obviously, I kind of seen Pearl. I played with Kenny, and I seen his high school career. So I kind of had an idea on what I would want Lincoln to be like, in terms of a platform and how the top players should move through that platform. So yeah, it wasn't just me though. Like I had good friends. Anton played a huge aspect because downtown was easy access to me. So my friends had made it easy access for me to travel and navigate through the city to be seen or to I don't want to say the word recruit because everybody said I recruited, but I was like Duke. Duke don't recruit; they attract. I had a chance to attract people.
Exactly.
Well, they all recruit now, Tiny.
They recruit now, huh?
It is what it is
now.
Right. And look,
the NIL was back then too, though. Don't get it twisted.
That's right. That's right.
It was there heavy.
I want to give a big shout out to Antoine Melchon, man. He's done and he's still doing so much for our community, helping so many people, young boys and a lot of girls out there today, man. And he's still making an imprint on the basketball scene. So salute to my guy, Antoine Melchon.
That's a fact.
For sure. That's definitely something for real. So listen, I get this call tonight, right? Just out the blue. My guy Rock calls me. He's like, yo, bro, I'm just calling you to tell you, man, I love you, bro. Like as a friend, man, I appreciate you. And I love what you're doing, man. Keep doing what you're doing. I was like, yo, thanks, Rob, man. Thanks. Appreciate you, bro. And I'm like, yo, I'm Gary, I'm preparing for my show tonight. He said, who you got on, big bro? So I got Tiny. He was like, no, yo, serious, you got Tiny on? He said, let me tell you something. That man is such a good man, bro. He said, for me, sending my son to him at NAS and what he did for my son and what he's still doing for my son. Like, this guy's such a genuine man. He don't have to help us. He's not in the mix like how he was before, but he helped my son get to Louisville. And my son is playing in the ACC because of him. Tell that man tonight, man, how much I appreciate him, man, and how much I thank him for being in my son's life and my life just as a grown man. When you sit back and think about the countless young men that you have helped get into college or men that you helped get jobs, what did that say about you as a person and how does it make you feel?
I mean, that's wonderful. I mean, yeah, I spoke to Rod too. I mean, my biggest thing was us pulling us up. So when I first started winning at Lincoln, and we was playing against some of the schools or some of the talent that probably wouldn't really benefit my players' potential of getting better, I started helping other programs be just as good as us, so we could have competition. I follow that Burger King, McDonald's situation, the Duke, North Carolina situation. I can't be the only one good, and in order for us to be good, we had to have a great league. So I wanted to build up the PSL and help, guys that was looking like me and thinking like me, and I created my own really competition. So that was one of the biggest things I think I ever did was, have lend a helping hand when I got the juice. That was my biggest thing. That's why I named my program Juice All Stars. I got the juice, so let me see what I can do with it.
That's crazy that you said that because, we also know it also represents a young man in the neighborhood of Coney Island, right?
There's a few of them that's named Juice All Stars, but my idea was really that
the Tupac. It was the two. It was
definitely the movie. It was definitely the movie aspect because when Sebastian got to Lincoln, And after that first year in camp, all doors open. So, we had a chance to have an AAU program in Coney Island. I used to travel back and forth, uptown, Sun Devils, Broncos, Gauchos. We finally had a chance to not have to get on a train and have our own program. And I think that was huge for us. No one knows about the stuff that we did outside of Lincoln High School. That move right there was big time.
Yeah, Van Macon said the same thing. I had a chance, to sit down and kick it with my guy, and he said one of the biggest things that's missing out of the PSL is Tiny Morton, because he didn't only keep his team good, he made everybody else rise to the occasion.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And you saying it tonight is definitely right on par, man. Right on.
Yeah, but
par.
it's civil war in the PSL though, so we're gonna get to that.
Oh man.
The Civil War, it was hard trying to keep us up top, and we had people bringing us down. You know that.
All right, so we might as well jump. We might as well jump right into it, right? And we gonna jump right into it, because I'm glad you going there. We gonna jump right into it, because we're not even gonna play no games with them no more, right?
Coach just snapped the floor. He's ready to go.
Oh man, listen. All right, so here's the deal, right? Look at this. Look at this right here. You see this article? It says get tiny, and they got him on a bullseye. This is our city's daily news.
It's crazy.
One of the biggest cities in the world.
The biggest city. We are the capital of the world. They got listen. They got a black man, a young black man, on a bullseye saying get. This is crazy. This is crazy.
And that's just one of few. But the really crazy thing about it is that I didn't have anybody really in my circle to break down that wasn't really a positive article. When I see my name tiny, black and white, that big, I was hyped. Oh yeah, they love me.
Coach, they got you.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, it took to COVID to really sit down and read my articles to really understand what they was trying to do. To not see, and I don't want to say this but I have to say this. They just didn't want to see somebody that looked like me have that much power in this high school basketball scene. It's the only thing I can think of.
You heard what I said. Listen, I know what it represents. I sat let me just tell you. Saw Dave last night from Dave Joint. Dave, the one that put the article in my mind. But then he was just like, yo, if you can find that article. But then I had someone DM me in my DM saying, yo, about the same article. I was like, yo, hold on, this is too much of a coincidence. So I called my guy, Eric Short. Y'all want to know why I get on my he's not gonna send them to you. He's only gonna do it for me. So don't even try to hit him up. He's my archive guy. He got the article for me, clean, fresh. I was just like, and I read it, and I'm sitting here going, this is a hit piece. This is what we call a hit piece, right?
Oh, yeah.
When they want to spin your name, right? And Tiny being a young coach, he's seeing his name in bright lights. He's like, and this is hot. I'm hot in these streets, not knowing, nah, fam, they're really trying to get rid of you.
And trying to benefit off that hotness,
They was too. They definitely benefit off of some of our road to success. Definitely, everyone did. Everyone had a piece of plucking the juice.
Now, at this moment, you got the hottest player in the country, right? The highest point guard. Something that no one has ever done in New York before is go from high school straight to the pros. Being in that situation, knowing you had all this talent, winning all these championships, how much pressure did you feel back then, knowing you had everybody watching you?
It really wasn't a lot of pressure until Sebastian's senior year when it was a reality that he can go to the NBA. But before that, it was self-motivated. Like I was self-motivated to win a championship. He was self-motivated to do well in high school and probably get where Stephon was at. That last year, and I'm glad I got footage of that last year. I got like 800 hours of that last year in my house.
That's awesome.
The cameras around us. So like I said, COVID did a great job for me understanding the road I took, the road I was on. I didn't see that. Like, we don't see us because we can't see each other, unless somebody else, from the outside looking at us and understanding what's going, what's going on. But the last year was the most stressful year with Sebastian, 2004, because he had a big dream. That was a huge dream, and that's what we coach for. Try to get these kids to get to their next step, their next dream.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then we can't forget this right here, right?
Yeah. Yes. See, that's full page coverage, man. If this was social media era, I'll be popping right now.
You be trending, my man. You be number one trending, brother.
You didn't. First of all, you didn't even need social media because you were in print. Millions and millions of people was reading this every day, right? Yeah. And they don't have you in the bullseye this time. They just let everybody know. All eyes on Tiny.
Hold on, Paul. Yeah. So the crazy thing about this article, I got a shirt and tie on, so that was I appreciate that one.
Yeah,
I got the shirt and tie on.
Right.
But if you dig deep into the article, what do the middle part say?
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna read it right now. It says he has 9 lives. Every time you think he's about to go down, he finds another way to survive. Gary Charles.
So when I read that, I was like, "Damn, Gary." I was like, and I read this in 2020 though.
Whoa!
When the COVID hit, and I sat down and read all my articles, I was like, "What the fuck?" I had not. They were trying to kill me.
Yes.
How they was trying to kill me? I got 9 lives.
I'm a little upset, Coach.
I wasn't no cat. I was a dog.
You're telling me none of the boys let you know what was going on when this came out?
Nah, man. I was kind of like, how can I say this? I was like Robin Hood, my man. So Robin Hood didn't have somebody on the side of him.
Yeah.
I was like Robin Hood to everybody, but some people thought I was a little bit different. But these articles mean something now that if you get older, you went through this shit, you're like, wow, these dudes really had this out on me only because of basketball. I thought basketball was the key to everybody's success in my hood and everybody's hood.
And tell everybody why you do what you was doing, like, because I think sometimes the message can be construed because you're winning so many championships, you got all these star players, and they think it's for something else.
Well, so to me, I don't want to, bring my life story on here, but for me, like I said, not growing up with a father and having, Harstein, a Caucasian man, helped me out. Playing for Doc, a Caucasian man, helped me out. Playing for Lou, this person giving me finances. There was no black man around that was personally helping me out in life. You know what I'm saying? So I heard Mr. Marbury say something to me the first time I got the job, and that just stuck with me forever. And he said, now you're in control of kids' dreams. And that was huge to me. As a teacher and as a basketball coach, I felt that, if I did something wrong, it would affect another person's dream. And it kind of happened to me when I chose my college. When I chose my D1 college, I kind of listened to someone else's voice instead of my own voice. But, things happen for a reason.
Before you transferred?
Yeah, before I made some moves, yeah.
Listen, we all were stuck in that position, Tiny. Right? We didn't have no one to guide us. We didn't have no one beside us giving us the game. So when someone like you comes along and you're able to help a lot of these young men navigate or help them navigate through life, and some people don't want that. I was once told about this coach. I'm not going to give out his name right now. He's a college coach, and he just happened to be a Caucasian man. He said one of the things that a lot of these coaches fear is dealing with a kid's father. They would rather deal with the mother.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I had to sit back, and I was a little younger, so it didn't impact me the same as I'm hearing it for again as a grown man replaying these things back in my head. Do you think a lot of time that's true?
No,
Knowing you dealing with a lot of coaches?
Yes, that's definitely that's probably that's true. But I came from a strong female background, so on the other side, the strength is always was with the female in my circle. So you can find those families like LeBron who only have a female around and become a billionaire. So it's always two sides to that story, and it's just I think it's the men that's put early in these kids' lives are really the deciding factor on how long a kid or how far a kid goes. We could talk about all the things that we do and we see success, but what about the people who's quote unquote try to help a kid and steer them in the wrong directions? Where's the numbers to that? Where's those people at?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and there's a lot of people who are, fake handlers or act like they're journalists or published people, and it's really just to boost up their ego or their resume. And like you said, Coach, I grew up without a father. My father passed away when I was 10 years old. Had a strong mom that kicked my butt, made sure I was in shape, make us do things right. And like you said, I wish more coaches said and took that responsibility that you are in charge of these kids' dreams. You are in charge of their future, and you can really help guide them forward and put them in a really good spot, despite any of the kids' situation. Single father, no parents, two parents. As a coach, that responsibility means a lot, and I appreciate your view on that, Coach. That meant a lot to me.
I gave a name to that. I used to call them the BAC, the Bad Advice Crew. They all over the gyms and everywhere. And that's one of the techniques, one of the skills that I wish all good mentors will teach their students to look out for the Bad Advice Crew. Now it's coming in all kinds of stuff, coming in, especially with these NBA players. It's coming as as the girlfriends or whoever it is. But it's the Bad Advice Crew everywhere, man.
He said that. Hold on. He said that the Bad Advice Crew. Hold on. I'm joining y'all in 1 minute. Hold on.
Who you trying?
Yeah, because I'm trying to get this this whole thing straight over here. But listen, we not finished. It's like KRS One. We're not done. We're not done. What the hell was this?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What the CSI NCAA college hoops get ready for give under the cloud of federal investigation scandal.
Where's the other page to that? Where's the center page? Who is in the center page? I want to see that part.
Okay.
You got the center page to that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's in the center page?
There you go.
Yeah, Lincoln on top, Rick Pitino on one side, Tiny on the other side.
Yeah.
You would think that if Tiny Morton is that important to the world of basketball, then people should embrace that and let me help.
Yeah.
Help what needs to be corrected.
Yeah, you figured you'd almost be the opposite, like
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
this
guy got, what's going on? Like, how's he getting all this attention? But I was fighting these guys. I was fighting I was fighting a lot of administration to keep a program rolling, to keep kids eligible, to keep kids qualified, and it was civil war. I was fighting my own house. I was getting investigated. Investigated for what? For trying to get kids to go to college. They call it recruiting now.
Yeah.
Now the NCAA portal is full of that. Legal recruiting. You believe this? Yeah, so we did the NIL situation a long time ago. A long time ago.
Facts. Facts.
Thank God we did. Otherwise, we have less graduates.
Right?
They don't talk about that though, right? Tiny?
Nah, they don't talk about that part. Because usually the powers that be don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
They read stuff secondhand and react to that. So they're being involved and knowing what's going on. When they hear it and see it, they understand it.
Yeah.
But we work for the public school system, so we can't vote who's on top.
Woo! Hey, listen, tell her how it is.
We can't vote who's on top. We gotta take what they give us. Newspaper boys, computer analysts. Nobody who know how to wrap a sprained ankle.
Listen, you have been one of the most accomplished coaches in New York City history, one of the winningest and most dynamic coaches in the country. Do you feel New York City high school basketball is in a good place right now?
No, not at all. Not at all. And the reason why is because when I was coaching at Lincoln at my highest level, we was invited to go everywhere, anywhere. And people could say, Lincoln recruited, Tiny recruited, but the best players was homegrown. Like I seen them when they was coming out of the womb. You know what I mean? So if one or two great players on my team and the rest of them is just, solid Division I players, how much did I really recruit? You know what I'm saying? I understand why they didn't change that word to attracted. There's always been recruited. To me, I attracted a lot of talent. Some people got the gift, some people don't have that gift. But crazy thing about it is when you fighting inside, sometimes those pipes get hot. Those pipes get hot. And New York City basketball right now, to me, they are so below what's going on countrywide. I always want to stay up what's going on in the next state and so on and so on. But with the NIL and some of these kids are not even playing on the top level basketball. And recently you got guys being suspended for playing basketball. I don't understand. I would never understand you take away the game of basketball for someone for an adult mistake. I would never understand that. It doesn't happen too much anywhere outside of New York City basketball. But if the powers that be knew how far we are below when it comes to high school basketball in the country, then they will understand. But they don't even know that a Lincoln High School, a Christ the King, or anyone, it's like Division II basketball right now compared to the country. And the only program that's really competing is OSL and Lehigh. And they're not part of the Catholic League or the public league, I don't think. And we servicing what? Thousands of kids. So what are we fighting for? What's the dream? Like, what are you suspending somebody for when he has less chance of getting a Division I scholarship anyway? Makes no sense to me. No sense.
I think we just have to bring up the elephant in the room.
What's that?
Because you are so dancing around this thing right now. And I'm just gonna bring it up right now, right? Because Coach and I, we talked about this last week, and there was a big incident, and I'm just gonna say it right now because I know we have one of the coaches coming on Friday, but our coach called me up early in the morning. He's having breakfast with about 30 coaches, him and 30 coaches, the legendary Bobby Hartstein and 30 other coaches, all the way in Florida. He's calling me like, hey, Glenn, real quick, can't stay on the phone so long, but what is this going on with the Jefferson and South Shore? What is going on? I'm like, Coach, it's 10:30 in the morning. How the hell did you know about what's going on up here?
It's crazy how some people like to air out with dirty laundry. That's me. To me, that's airing out dirty laundry. You know, like it got to be other better ways of exploiting our own people, man. To me, that's exploitation. I don't want to hear somebody was doing a audit. You don't do audits in the beginning, middle of the season when the season's at the most important part of the season. That makes no sense to me. You should have an audit team, a team that's doing that periodically during the season. Like New York City school budget is not that small. You got money, you know, so it makes no sense to me. It's sad that and it touches me because when I see that, I just go back to all the times I was investigated for trying to get kids to go to college. You know what I'm saying? Like if that's the end of the story, like championship wasn't putting more money in my pocket. I mean, if these guys think trophies and championships really mean something, they're crazy. You know, to have a championship and no college students, you failed. You failed.
Exactly.
Like they're working backwards, and it's sad because I was with the PSL until they let me go illegally, and they still don't have a clue. I'm thinking they let me go because they got the answers. They're doing the same old BS. The same people in charge are doing the same thing. So you know, to me, that's called what? Crazy, right? When you're doing the same thing, think you're gonna have a different result.
Definition of insanity, Coach.
Man. It's
doing the same thing.
You know, it was other ways of doing that.
So we got a few elephants in this room.
They're walking out one by one.
Hey, listen, you were hired as the czar to the PSL, and I think a lot of people took offense to that title, and maybe they were intimidated. I don't know. I wasn't able to walk in your shoes. What did you feel during your time period at the PSL, and all the innovative things you wanted to do while you were there?
Well, I thought we was gonna have a great team. I thought we had a team of sports people. You know, to me, when I think of PSL, I think of athletic program. You know, in college you have an athletic department, and everything is geared to get the student to the next level. It's not to get the student to the NCAA championship. It's to graduate. And I thought the PSL should have had their hands on every aspect of an athlete, and most importantly, the academic part. You know, so that was my real goal: is more exposure and more kids being academically ready for the next level. But you know, like I said, powers of bees, you know, was more worried about Tiny Morton and how big he was or how big he is. You know, I don't know, I'm just assuming, but I guess I didn't have enough experience in basketball to run that division.
Hold on, coach. Now we just pulled up like 3 big ass articles, right, from the #1 newspaper in New York City. Hold on. Word? Word? No.
I love this one.
Chips and shoulders. Rest in peace to Coach Apache.
Yes, definitely.
Definitely rest in peace. Tiny screen stars. And we just went through 3 different players, 3 different eras. You had Sebastian, then the next article was Lance, and now this one has Isaiah. How much experience does one need, or information does one need to know that as long as you've been around basketball, in and out of the country, AAU programs, you know the schedule, you know all the rules.
Right, I'm doing so much cheating, so I should know all the loopholes. Just in case somebody try to cheat. I'm the right guy to block them, right? You know what I mean? So
I didn't think he was gonna say that, Coach.
You know, the PSL is run by the Knicks. I don't care nobody say. They run by the Knicks, bro.
Oh,
Why would you say that? Okay, explain, please explain, please.
Oh,
This is
I'm
awesome.
just messing with that.
No,
I'm
I
just
know they're
saying.
not run by the Knicks, but
I'm just saying. It's. I just thought I have answers that I think is correct, but I mean, it's black and white. Like this is not that difficult. I know the Catholic League has a smaller a pool of teams and schools to govern, right? And I get it. And my short experience being an AD at Nazareth, a couple of meetings, I felt the family environment of the Catholic League. You know, wasn't that happy with the public school league, but you felt that family. Like you still understood that, you know what, these decisions are going to be made for the whole. And when I worked in the PSL, it's like, what's going on? Like, it's more of me in there, but it's less of knowledge in there of running the athletic department. And I don't understand why they don't understand that the PSL is an athletic department. And whatever you do, the product is the athletes. You only got a job because you have athletes. So how can we get them to the next level? Not suspend them out loud. You want to suspend somebody to do it the right way.
yeah.
Do it in a timely manner. You know what I'm saying? Or tell somebody, yo, you didn't do your homework. You can't play. That makes more sense to me. But just don't, throw it out. I have kids that got suspended in 2017, 18, and they didn't give a reason why yet. And these same students done got college degrees. They had wonderful careers, but it was up to the PSL. They leaving for dead. We got one kid get shot on PSL ground and couldn't play his next year. But you got a kid that played last year who played his 5th year in the PSL school. So it's a lot of things going on that's coaches on our level can't control, and it's sad. It's very sad, man. And somebody needs to speak up.
what do you think they can do to improve the product as a whole? Because I the reason why I wanted to mention what Coach Hosty said, because it's actually true. Like for a man who's been retired over 20-something years, all the way in Florida, amongst 30 coaches having his, weekly weekly brunch or breakfast, whatever they do down there, knowing what's going on in New York City. That kind of puzzled me. It's like, yo, is it really getting out of control?
I mean, it's just the same sad story. I mean, in the classroom, things is changing, things is moving. Education is being adopted different ways. So that's being improved. It's just that I don't see any real change on the athletic side. And for you to say that, if this was a different state, a southern state, athletics would mean much more. Not saying it would be the all and be all of education, but it would be so more important to people as a whole, because it's a way it's a language. Athletics is a language that we all kind of are used to speaking, and we can use it for some different ways. I think of LeBron James and his son still playing basketball, even though he's probably a billionaire. Like why? Like why you think that he still wants his son to be around the sport? That was a way of living. Some of us, that's our way of living. And I don't think people understand that, especially if you don't come from that background or you don't think that's important. I think it's really important. I think it's very important. I don't think you could take the athletics out of certain neighborhood. We need that part in our neighborhoods, and we losing that. And my tenure on this earth, the public school basketball league was huge for me. Huge. It was everything I ever had. And being in foster care, not having a father, I went outside and played ball. Oh, I can go to Lincoln and do that? You can't take that away. You can't disturb that. No form, no way. You got to better that. You got to improve that.
Yeah, and a lot of times you know, we on the outside looking in, you know, we don't know a lot of what's going on. You know, me being on the media side right now, I'm, you know, and Brian, we're privy to a lot of information. It's things that I know that I would never say in public because of the embarrassment level, and I want to make sure that, you know, it doesn't affect any kids, because that's what we all in this for.
Correct.
I started the basketball heads thing so I can make sure that the legends stories get told, because New York City is the mecca of basketball, and then started this high school thing to be an extension to what the newspapers was for us, right? They don't have that right now. So for me to be able to write these articles, do my evaluations, and what Brian does and what they do at NYC Hoops Rivals, it helps tremendously, right? But also with us doing that, if the kid's not out on the floor, what good is the product that we pushing?
Yeah, it's not even that. I think it's checks and balances too. So, you know, you have the administration, and you have the media, you have the principals and the coaches and so on. What's in between that? You know, when our parents was growing up, we had people called Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. There was our voice. You know, we just lost the big voice for Tom Kachowski.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So where's our voice now? There's no voice to even be a mediator to what's going on. And the sad thing about it is that if no one from the PSCL goes Division I basketball, get a Division I scholarship, they still gonna have a program. It's sadly to say, like, they're not gonna be. It's nothing gonna go wrong with the PSL because someone doesn't go to the NBA. They still gonna have a job. Whoever working in the PSL, they still gonna have a program. Is that fair? No, I don't think that's fair. That's not fair at all.
So you think the standard for these coaches should be higher?
Standards should be higher for the coaches. It should be more policing than what they're doing. It should be more educated people on the sidelines, to be honest. You know, everyone talks about, you know, this person can't stand up, he can't stand up. I see a person sitting down speaking very loud. If you get my drift, somebody sitting down speaking very, very loud. I was opposed to that before, but now I'm like, that's craziness. It's craziness how we just killing each other sitting down, typing. You know what I mean? Investigation letters I had to read in 2020 during COVID, when this person told on me, this person told on me, and I smile at them and I laugh at them. I'm like, shame on you that you got to live your life knowing you're a rat.
So hold on, you had coaches.
Yes.
Oh,
coach.
And think of the time lapse between, Pooh. If you really think about it, Tiny's walking around like nothing's wrong with some of these guys, and these guys have literally destroyed him to people. I mean, he got to see some real characters of people. I mean, if I would have destroyed you, I would have not even gone near you. You know what I mean, Tiny? So to see some guys go right into your face and act like they didn't say anything is pretty alarming, and you got to see some real people there.
But you know, it's good with me because I'm from a part of New York City that you know I rub elbows with all kinds of people, so I know. Yeah. I know how to deal with certain situations. You know, I survived. You know, I'm not in jail. I got my master's degree, so I knew how to get around the snakes.
You just had to cut the grass a little lower so you can see them. Wow. It's a lot to take in. It's just a lot to take in right now, man. As a whole, just as a city, and you being an expert in high school basketball, dealing with college coaches, how can we bring more eyes and attention to New York City? And first of all, what can we do to make the product better, right? And then how do we bring more eyes to New York City like it was before?
Well, we do have OSL who can compete on a high level because they're not governed by a certain administration. Because to be honest, if we can't help the students on our level, then maybe we should try to get on that next level. It shouldn't be so many rules of you can't fly this way, you can't play this way. It really should be a lot of things. Look beyond New York City and see we can take our sport on another level. Because the only reason why I survived is because I had the shoe companies behind me, you know. But before you have the shoe companies behind you, got to have a product.
Yeah.
But
and you mean like a top program, coach?
Yeah,
right?
The sponsorship is not looking at our schools anymore. It's not because we don't have good coaches. It's because we're not understanding the other side of the game. That we're not understanding a Luha system where they're not, just stuck in one division or one league, that they're allowed to branch off. I'm gonna say the word. They're allowed to attract players. There's no way in the world Lincoln is in a Russian neighborhood, but if I had a Russian player on my team, they'd say I recruited him from Russia.
I think they do have a Russian player this year. They do have a
Tiny right there.
Yeah.
That's why I left. Leave the kids alone. I'm out of here.
What was that a hard move for you to leave a place that you built into a dynasty?
Boo, listen, I'm glad you asked that question because that was so deep. I had so much anger with inside of me when I had to leave because I came back from Seton Hall, right? And one of the reasons why I came back from Seton Hall is because when I looked at the staff at Lincoln, it was too many different personalities on the sideline. And some of those families and kids was calling me, telling me that this is not happening. You told me this is going to happen. Because before I left, I had to say, Lincoln's going to be all right. Go there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it just looked like it was going to be chaotic. And I didn't think that, I could be able to use that system to get another kid to where I was at. So I go back to Lincoln and I saved a couple of kids. A couple of kids went to college. We came up short in the championship. Then the following year, I saved a couple of more kids, went to college for free, and we won a state. And then the next year, we having a great year. And then in January, these guys saying these kids can't play. We ain't telling you why, but we doing an investigation. And that investigation is still going on because we never received a reason why those kids couldn't play. And that shit hurt so bad. So my deal to Lincoln was, I'm going to leave because I heard the administration was going to retire. So let me leave for a couple of years and I'll come back. And that was really my goal, is to get the heat off of me and hoping that, we could continue in the long term. But it didn't happen. But I was really upset on a high level that I thought I had to leave.
Who was it? The PSL that told you, or was it your administration at the school
that told me what?
That the kids were ineligible. They didn't
PSL. I don't want to name drop, but the people are still alive. I'm not going to name drop, but the PSL.
Wow.
And they still didn't give us an answer yet.
Yeah,
those kids got college degrees though, but they probably don't care now. But there was a kid that was playing with them that probably could have had a little better career. That's why I understand why people don't understand the kids that's on the bench, the kids that's on that side of them. They only worry about the kid, the individual, and the coach. What about the other kids?
That's
what
the
about
first
the competition that lost a game because you saying this kid was ineligible?
That's the first thing my mom says, Tiny, is what about the rest of the kids on the team? Every time something happens, she's the first one to say that.
Unbelievable.
People don't think about it, though. Yeah.
They don't. They make decisions. No, he's wrong. He's a bad guy. They don't care about the other kids that's playing basketball for fun or they really love basketball. Not they trying to get something out of it. They don't care about that.
And, Coach, could I ask you one more question to kind of piggyback off of what Pooh was talking about with Lincoln? Can you talk about that NAS team that I have a picture of in my phone? that you were constructing, with Tyler's team. I mean, that was one of the all-time great young teams I've ever seen built so quickly. I mean,
gotta love the
you had
Catholic
guys,
League.
Nelson,
You gotta love the Catholic League. If I did that shit at Lincoln, excuse my French, I'd have got another bullseye. They probably would have shot that at this time. It was amazing. I got like 11 new. I mean, then we had some kids on the freshman team. Like, are you serious? Like, we could really attract players.
I remember looking at that roster, and my mind was blown looking at how many good sophomores you got in that place instantly. I mean,
yes,
Zaire Wells.
Yeah,
so
it proved to me that the body of work that I've done, it was well worth it. Moving on to a different league, being able to attract other players, being able to attract other families, they really appreciate my work, and it was a great feeling. It was a great feeling to see that.
And let's just to continue this conversation with Nazareth. I remember, I started off the show talking about my guy Ra. He calls me and he's like, "Yo, son, can't take you to being on the freshman team. Can you call Tiny and see what he can do?" It's Tyler, he was already dominating as a freshman on the freshman team, and Tiny made the bold move to move him up to the varsity. Most coaches would just be, "Nah, I already have my team, already stacked." But he saw what he had was the future, and he wanted to bring the kid up just to to lessen the frustration that the kid was going through. And that was like my first kind of, not say introduction, but like being back in the game, because I stayed away from it for so long. And to see Tiny make that move, you remember that call, Tiny, we had?
Yes. Yeah.
And you brought Tyler Johnson up to the varsity, man. And his first game was against Lincoln at Naz, and that was just a dope moment.
Yeah.
As I seen a coach, and a friend of mine for so many years, still helping kids at the highest level, and bringing them up. And now he's playing at Louisville, and the reason why he's there because Mr. Morton.
I'm not the only one that could take credit for that.
Right. I don't know. I'm just telling you what Dad has told me, right? But I know there was a lot of people.
And the thing that really that I'm admired about Rod is because when the kid came to visit Nazareth, he came with his whole family, and the father said, I was away in camp, and when I heard my son had a chance to play for you, he was like, "There's nowhere in the world he gonna play for nobody else." And that right there was touching to me because, as coaching at Lincoln, I got a few people who used to write me letters from camp, and show appreciation what I was doing for their nephew or their son. So that hit home when he said, I wanted my son to play for you. But the person that was responsible for him to be at Naz, I had to make sure that they was, okay with him moving up too. So it was a team thing. It was a team thing with him, man. I'm so happy with his success right now.
That's dope. My guy, Coach Will Holly, he said, "What mistakes has Tiny made during his career?"
One of the biggest mistakes I made is and this is, I think I should have had someone else or someone around me that can help me navigate beyond the high school level. Mm-hmm. I wish I had that earlier. The second mistake is it's not a mistake, but I wish I knew how to incorporate my family in my coaching life. I lost a lot of time away from my family doing this coaching. And, if I could do it over again, I would never coach because it's not worth it.
If you had to do it all over again, you wouldn't. Hold on, because I want to make sure I hear this right. Wow. So you saying one of the biggest sacrifice, was being away from your family and that time that you can't get back.
Yeah. Wasn't worth it. And it's crazy thing about it because I had got that same that same kind of information maybe 2009, 10. Excuse me. I was at Madison Garden. I think I was watching the championship that year because we lost. That's one thing I'm good at, is being a student of the game. And a big time college coach sitting next to me, and he asked me, do I think I'm ready? Do I want to coach college basketball? And I was like, yes. And he said, you think you're ready? And I'm thinking he's ready to offer me a job and everything. I'm hyped. Yeah. And he goes, are you married? I said, nah, but I got to find a fiance I was with for decades. He was like, don't do it. College basketball usually don't, it don't help families.
Yeah.
You usually break up during that time.
Wow.
That was like, wow.
You were like devastated after that? Yeah.
That kind of backed me up.
Wow.
Yeah. How fun to hear.
Yeah.
Now, what would you be doing if you weren't coaching? If you could choose another kind of path?
The crazy thing about it is that when I left LIU, I was home and Stephon ran and got me and said, yo, come sit on the bench or come to practice. And I did that, and when he was on his way to Georgia Tech, he wanted me to go with him. And I couldn't do that because my son was about to be born. So I don't know what I would have done. I mean, I know, I'm a Capricorn and I know I would have did something in life, so who knows?
Do you think you'll ever get back into coaching?
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, I really want to. I'm at a lot of games. I'm watching things that I would probably do different if I had a certain program. I want to. I'm healthy. It makes no sense me not being in coaching in some aspect.
Would you be open to go? Would you be open to coaching Catholic League, PSAL, anywhere?
That's what I was out. Yeah.
I don't know because I know what level of basketball that's needed for kids to really go to the next level.
Yeah.
The question is, are you willing to coach knowing that these kids might not be able to use the basketball to go to the next level? No. I don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I can be assistant to another coach, but for me to sit there knowing that the fight is unbeatable, it makes no sense. And this is the reason why. This is the problem I have with some of New York City basketball. Like know that you coaching a player or a team or organization that really can't help these kids' goals. Do something to better that chance. Do something.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about, I don't know if we ever talked about this, the Pathways League? Do you think that's just a waste of time? I did
think about that. I did. I definitely did. I'm glad you said that because I was at a playoff game when I was with the PSL and I was listening to the Pathway League and they rules and regulations. Like, you guys can take this on the road.
Yeah.
Could take this on the road. Like, you're not governed by the same rules.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I know another coach who's thinking about doing that as well. And he has the same mindset.
It makes sense, man. The thing we got to do is to try to get these college coaches to understand that our product is still worthwhile. So how do we do that?
Yeah.
How do we do that? Is anybody in these offices connected to the other side of the world of basketball that can tie those strings together? I didn't have enough experience. That's why I got let go. So who do?
You still have the knowledge. You still have the knowledge, and I think the Pathways is a situation that's golden for you. I think it says Tiny Morton all over it. And even when I was talking to this other coach who was definitely exploring that, and he's in the Catholic School League, so, and he was definitely exploring those options. Like, yo, bro, nobody's really tapped into that, and the age limit is different. The rules are a lot different, and you have so much more wiggle room to be the kind of coach that you guys are, right? You guys are not saying y'all bigger than the game, but y'all think outside the box. Y'all thinking outside the city. Y'all thinking the
Yeah.
country.
Different months.
Right. Now, can you explain to people how different the Pathway League is compared to the PSL and the Catholic School League?
I think it's just the age thing. I don't think their age requirement is the same. So, and to me, this is another thing that I was thinking about why some of our athletes are not NCAA ready. We have a new program. Well, we have a program in New York City public school system that's called 3K, where kids could come to school at 3 years old. And if they stay on track, they graduate as 16 or 17-year-old. There's no 16 and 17-year-old that I ever coached that was ready for NCAA. Okay, no Sebastian at 16 and 17 wasn't ready. Lance wasn't, whoever you want to name. You're not going to be ready physically or mentally or socially to go to somebody else's university and be ready. So because we go into school so early, and because we got these rules that you can only play 4 years in a high school, we lost when we get to school. And that's what's happening. We seeing younger, smaller seniors in New York City, and when you go abroad in New York City, you got guys that's 18, 19, that's seniors, that's pros. Cole Anthony was 19 going on 20 as a rookie. If he was 17 going to 18, I don't know if he got drafted.
Yeah.
Oh,
true.
Tiny. I just looked this up. It says Mayor Adams is not planning to expand New York City's free pre-K program for 3-year-olds next year.
Oh, good job.
Because of the migrant situation, I think they're cutting that program.
I mean, good job, because, you know, at 3 or 4 years old, you still should be learning from your parents.
Facts.
But, you know, that's another conversation.
Tiny, are there any coaches in New York City or Long Island or upstate New York that impress you, that you think have a bright future moving forward? Any coaches that catch your eye in the leagues?
I love what the Stepping Act coach is doing. I love what he's doing. You know, he's using this platform. His kids is being able to use that platform. You know, I think they definitely are moving in the right direction. Luha got their own platform, which is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, Gary's doing the best he can do with what he have. He remind me of Seton Hall. He don't have the budget like everyone has, but he's a better coach than most coaches are. So, you know, he's gonna need a little nudge to move those kids on to the next level. I wonder where Gary learned his stuff from. God bless the ages, but he did a great job.
That's right.
I want to see what Billy his goals are for Holy Cross. I think Obbs have the platform. We just got to see if he's motivated anymore. You know what I'm saying? The Eagles program the Eagles program have more than Tiny Morton had when it comes to resources. So if they can't succeed, that's a shame. And I want you guys to understand that. They have more leeway than Tiny Morton had to make it happen on the athletic side. So they should be able to take it to the next level.
What do you mean leeway? Explain what do you.
I really can't. I'm still employed by the DOE, buddy.
Well done.
I don't. You can't recruit.
No, I know. Because I didn't understand. It's not like I was being funny.
They have a better system of attracting athletes now. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Which you know, we should have academies. I wish the DOE would employ athletic academies, so we know that we're dealing with athletes, and we know that we can service them on the off the court and on the court, and we can push them to colleges on all aspects, not just as the person on the field or on the court. I wish we had that. That's one of the things I proposed to the PSL when I was there. Let's try to start some some sports programs like the Wrens did in the Bronx. They got a DOE building, but it's run by somebody else.
Now it says calling for change. Support swells for switch to PSL magnet programs. What was that about?
That was just using me again, man. They did it good. These guys should have paid me for using me like this, bro. Like I wish I had a lawyer, somebody on my side that could have got me some change for all these newspaper articles. This is what I did wrong. I didn't know how to get on that other side.
Yo, hold on. This had nothing to do with.
This is using me again as an excuse. I don't know. I really didn't. This article, what's going on in the middle? I can't see the middle. The middle really usually tell you what they're trying to beat me up about.
He said, all right, it says Sebastian has everything in the world going for him. And the good thing for Sebastian is he has a chance to stay clear. Sebastian is going in like a different, that's crazy. Is going in like a little child, a baby. We're all going to baby him and encourage him.
Who's that?
There are no blemishes. Sonny Ficaro.
Oh, that's Sonny. So Sonny's the master of marketing. So, that was positive for Sebastian. What's this other thing right here next to me on the other side? What's that?
We are moving towards September 2003, allowing students to apply to go to high schools wherever they want.
Oh, yeah. So that's me. That's me. Yeah. Yeah. If you can go to Brooklyn Tech to be whatever specialized program they had going on,
right?
You can't go to a school that had a great athletic program. I don't understand that. I mean, everybody that goes to Duke that I know, they never said they was going to Duke to be a doctor.
Yeah, engineer, right?
They never said that. Even though, Duke had that part, but usually guys go to Duke because the athletic program was amazing. So why you couldn't do that on the high school side? Why it can't be a specialized athletic program and you can go to that school if you fit the bill? I don't understand that. That was that to me. It seemed like that was kind of like that movement.
Now, my guy CK, who's always on the check-in, he's from upstate. He says that's why some upstate schools have 7th and 8th graders on varsity. Think of Joe Girard from Glen Falls. He was at Carson in the 7th grade and the state's all-time leading scorer. Now,
oh, wow, this is good news. So if he scored any points during the 7th and 8th grade, that don't count. That means Lance still got the scoring check. Yeah.
So listen. And I had this girl on last week, Ashley McCall, right? Mm-hmm. She already scored 1,000 points. She's been playing for Middletown, has been the leading scorer there since she was in the 7th grade.
That's
so
it don't count. It shouldn't count then.
Oh, they definitely counted. That's why Joe Girard points counted.
No, that shouldn't count. They're only supposed to count for your 9th grade year. But those programs, so I'm gonna give you a story. When I was in the 9th grade, I was in junior high school. And I was living in Queens. And I moved to Brooklyn. I was a truant. So when I got to Lincoln, I got put back into the 9th grade. So I was only allowed to play 3 years because I had a 9th grade year in junior high school. I never played. It wasn't connected to high school basketball. I was 17 in my 12th grade year. I still graduated at 18, so it wasn't an age thing. It was just only a rule that said you can't do the 9th grade twice, no matter where you're at, high school or junior high school. So that lost one of my years. I was so upset with my coach when I found out that could have been forfeited because other people fought for that and got their year back. So I could have had my senior year played at Lincoln. Otherwise, instead of going to Flint Hill Prep.
So listen to this, Tiny. This may clear some things up. Spice was caught up in the same situation.
Spice was old. I wasn't.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
Sure?
I was the one. My birthday was July 2nd. This is why I had to go to prep school. Mine got left back in 7th grade. So my birthday was July 2nd, and the cutoff date was July 1st. Coach did everything he could to get Spice eligible. He had councilmen. He had so many people fighting for him, and they still didn't let Spice play. It messed up Spice senior year. And they was fighting for it so long that it went into the year, so Spice couldn't go to another school. So I know when we had to have this conversation, he was like, Dwayne was in the same situation. I didn't want to put Dwayne in the situation where we fighting, and he's stuck and he don't have a year. This is why when my situation came up, he was like, yo, you got to go. Like, because I can fight that your birthday is the next day and we probably could get it cleared because it's just one day, but I don't want to take that chance. So, you know, when I just having those conversations with Coach, he was stuck between the rock and the hard place because Spice, he went through that with Spice my freshman year.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
That's called communication.
Yeah. And Spice, you know, never recovered from that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Man, this is, it's a lot going on, man. It's a lot going on. So now, where do we go from here, right? We have no more federation. There's no more upstate. We have no more state championships going on. I talked to Danny Harris at Queens College, and even talked to him before that. We was at Luha, when we was at Luha, and I asked him, I said, you know, is there going to be a public school, Catholic school game? I was talking to Pete Geico yesterday, and he said they were still working it out.
So it's not going to be a Catholic public thing?
They're still trying to work out. I think most likely it is, but they're still trying to work out the kinks. Nothing is set in stone right now, and we're already in March, about to be in March Madness.
So that means so and Tom Kuchalski, boy, that's what we need. But if there's no federation, right? So that means the PSL is not governed by federation rules?
No, we the only state in the country that's not under a federation.
So what are we doing here? So I thought our rules were predicated towards the federation rules.
Nope, we're not part of the federation anymore.
I'm talking before. Before we were, right?
Yes. So last year was the last year.
So if we don't have any rules, I'm confused. Like, what are we doing? And how many coaches knows that? So you tell me these coaches don't know what's going to happen after the city championship?
First of all, the PSL is the only coaches in the city or in the state that is not part of the Coaches Association in New York.
How?
They don't have that.
Yeah, but you know what? Like I said all the time, like some coaches are just coaching because it's a nice concession check. Some coaches because they really, you know, think basketball or football or whatever sport they coaching can be a means to it. And so, but most coaches should definitely do their homework, because if you're not part of the federation, then you're not part of the federation rules. So what can you do? Can you play another game after the city championship? Can we create another real state tournament without being governed by the bureaucracy of certain leagues?
But then the AAU take over, and then the kids leave, and it's like, oh, that's it, time's up, we got to go, right? Because
we can create a state situation without being governed by people that governs right now. And I say we, I mean, I guess when you wear the PSL uniform, you're still insured by the PSL. So maybe you got to take the uniform off or switch it around. But it's sad. So there's no more state championship.
Right. And look, we don't get a vote in for Mr. Basketball. We don't get any McDonald All-American choices from the PSL, like that's gonna hurt the players.
It's gonna kill. Yeah.
Because I was asking all the coaches, Brandon Gardner won Mr. Basketball last year for Christ the King, and I was asking the coaches from the PSL, like, yo, did y'all vote for that? Like, did y'all have a voice in that? And I was surprised to find out that the only way you could do that if you was part of the Coaches Association, and I don't think the PSL coaches are not.
Yeah.
I guess athletics is not that important anymore. It used to be. A lot of people got jobs down in the PSL because of athletics. A lot of people are principals. A lot of athletes are former principals and teachers. So they did something. I don't know.
Yeah, it says might have to do something similar to what South Shore and Albany Academy and a couple other schools did a year ago during COVID and play a tournament.
Yeah, that might have to be it.
East Spot, who is fighting for the kids?
Who's able to fight for the kids?
Yeah.
Okay, who's able?
Able and willing.
Yes. Without getting knocked down.
Yo, look. I'm listen. We are providing a platform, at least for these conversations to be had, right? So that's the first thing, and another good thing is, and I'm gonna talk to you more off the air about this, Tiny. That I'm definitely gonna be hopefully after we meet Thursday, that game that I did last year, trying to do that again. So we had a conversation yesterday. It seems like it's positive and it's going to move in the right direction. I think something like that is needed. And we talking about the Tom Kachowski all-city game when we have the Captain School League, the best of the Captain School League players against the best of the public school league players, right? Yes. To try to extend that. And, and I was definitely tapping into your brain to see how can we build something where we can get the best schools to play against each other in some kind of way. Now, since there's no federation and, you got the Catholic School League and the Public School League, right? And I guess whoever wins, like that Mount Vernon, Westchester area, right? Like you got like New Rochelle, Mount Vernon, and all those schools in Kingston, right?
Yeah.
And I just think it's just finding a meeting point, because some people don't want to go up top and some schools don't want to come down. And we have to find an in-between spot to just to see who's going to be the king of New York, right? Because if we have like different city championship, Catholic school city championship, public school city championship, and everybody just go home and that's the end of the day, I just think that just leaves a sad situation. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not fulfilling.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want to get into that. Mason Smoke typing after this. Oh, nah, we're not doing that. Not putting that on the screen. Nah, I just don't put certain comments on the screen.
I take all the smoke. What's going on? I take all the smoke.
No, it is
now I'm only messing with you.
Nah, is people insinuating things. And you didn't say nobody's name. You didn't throw nobody's name under the bus. You keeping it very professional. People can insinuate and do all those things, man. But listen, I'm glad we had this conversation, man. I think it was needed. As much as we talk on the phone, and people don't realize how much of a private person you are. You don't really just be jumping all over the place on everybody's podcast. So I'm glad that you're able to come on here, man, and share some insight and give up a lot of game, right? Because that's what it's for us to be able to tap into someone who's been through the fire, right? Mm-hmm. No pun intended, but has been through the fire and knows what he's talking about. Tell him again, Tiny. Tell him again.
I am the fire.
Tell him again. Yo, I appreciate
me. That's the fire.
Yes. No doubt. Chuck in the
Chuck,
building.
what up?
Chuck in the building. Lincoln Brotherhood. You know how we do, brother. You know how we do. All in the family,
What's with
man.
Chuck?
That's right. That's right. Yeah, appreciate you, Coach. Appreciate you, Coach. You got to come up here, Coach. You got to come up here. Coach Will is doing a lot of positive things, man. He runs this all city program where he has the local colleges, right? The Coney schools.
Nice.
He bring back all of their greats, and they play each other in solidarity.
That's have to be a new route. That's have to be the new route.
Yo, go ahead, man. Tell people. And I told him, I said, yo, you need to really start pushing the school so we can make New York a place where kids can go, because a lot of these kids stop playing ball and they join gangs and we don't see them.
You're gonna have a lot of high school graduates that's just not gonna go to college because it's not gonna be the fad, and it's really sad. It's unbelievable.
Yo, listen, chill out, Mason. We not going there. We not going there, Mason. We not going there. I'm not gonna put it on the screen. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Said this is a very powerful show. Should have been on ESPN. Great. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Yo, we love you too, brother. My boy Chuck, always on the check-in. D3 players. Now there's another thing I wanted to ask you too, Tiny. Okay. There's a player, right? One of the best athletes, and I'll say his name, Ashton Reynolds, right? Transit Tech.
Yeah, Transit, yeah.
Right? Now a lot of people giving them offers or giving them looks, and a lot of people don't understand like that D2 or D3 maybe, and he's I think D2 is
he should be at least a D2 player,
right? But I think he could go somewhere and become a real true star, right?
Yes,
I think he can go somewhere and become a star on the D2 level. Why should kids think about going that route? Because a lot of kids, there's some kids I know who turned down some really good Division I offers and turned around and didn't have any offers now.
Well, cool. Let me ask you this question. Let's be honest with this. You went to college before, right?
Yes, indeed.
And you played ball in college, right?
Yeah.
And you lived on campus.
Facts.
And you met new people. How many of these people that's in control of these kids live that life and understand that? Because if you did, it doesn't matter where you go. Like I had a kid that told me that he wasn't trying to go to school because he had no Division I office. I said, brother, man, I went to JUCO. Start your life out. Start it off. He went JUCO and went Division I. He was happy that he didn't run around the prep school scene. But if you have these mentors or these BAC people and they're not even exploring that idea, then what do you got to tell a kid when he graduates and the Division I is not there anymore? You should have been promoting. You should have been going to Division II visits.
Facts.
Or black schools.
Woo! Say it again.
I understand why we're not pushing to the black schools now. Worst case scenario, we might get some funding for that.
Correct.
Hey, Tiny, you ever thought about doing your own exposure game?
Yeah, but the only thing is this, fool. I can't do it by myself.
Yo.
Do it with us.
Hello. High School Basketball Weekly. Trust me.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Trust me. Let's
That's
make
kind
it
of
happen.
Exposure we're gonna need. We're gonna definitely need that. And we're also gonna need to know how many students apply to these schools. They should be applying to these schools, especially the black schools, before the season is over, before the exposure game will begin. You never know.
Yeah. I mean, Tiny, do you know how many of these kids don't even know that they have to sign up for the NCAA?
I'm gonna tell you something. I could blame the coaches, but the PSL is paying them. So they paying them to do what, Brian? They paying them to do what? So if you're paying them, then you should be in direct contact on how many seniors you have, brother man, How many of those seniors apply for black schools, white schools, green schools? Who applied for school?
Yeah.
Because the SAT's got an issue no more. So now the issue is the people in charge. Back when I was playing, SAT was the issue.
Correct.
And they don't even have the SAT anymore.
Exactly.
You have to take it.
Yo, hold on. I'm about to end this soon anyway, Tiny, because now you got me on my team.
Yeah.
Do you think, and this has always been, I tell everybody, I'm a conspiracy theorist to the 10th power, just like Dave Chappelle said. Facts.
I like that guy.
When they created the SAT, do you think it was to slow up the amount of, and I'm going to say this, African-American black kids from getting scholarships to a higher education? Because they don't have it no more. Yo, Tiny, weed used to be illegal. Now they got weed stores on every corner. That's what I see it now. I see it the same way.
I just think that some of these bureaucracies do things for money, and that also could have been a money grabber. Just think about it. How many student athletes in this world that's trying to get to a scholarship, and everybody got to pay for the SAT test? That's money.
Yep.
So I don't know what it was, because you could just think about the black athletes, but every color, every race had to pay for SAT tests.
I never had to pay to take the SAT or the ACT.
Well, you get some people that get that welfare help, but a lot of people still had to pay for those tests. And guess what, Pooh? When you fail them, you take it again.
Pay again.
So I don't know if that was a money grab, more or less, to stop athletes. Yes, we can always say that. However, we got the juices.
But they don't have it no more. So why they don't have it no more? So this is my thing. If you're going to keep and they NIL deal, and then they do the transfer portal in. They do again, this is my conspiracy theory talking again. They do the transfer portal in just to make chaos, because they had to pay the kids. They knew someday they would have to pay the kids. And they said it was a COVID thing, but it's never going away. And who is going to hurt?
It's gonna hurt a lot, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna hurt a lot of athletes, bro. It's gonna hurt a lot of athletes in our neighborhoods, definitely. It's gonna be less and less.
Yeah, and like Tiny said, like going the JUCO route or going to prep school, it's become the norm for a lot of these kids. They're phenomenal.
It's gonna have to be the norm. JUCO, Division II, you have to get ready for that.
Yeah,
you have to, and you have to embrace it. And it's not a sign of not being successful.
No,
you have to do it.
All right, last question, Tiny. We're gonna get you out of here, brother. I know your phone is going off crazy. My guy Mark Petit said he'll help. And listen, my guy, he has a son. You know Mark. He played for Utrecht. 12-year-old son.
Yep.
Son is gonna be a beast. Son probably gonna be like about 6'9". And he's like, where do I send my son? You know what I'm saying? Like, with all this stuff going on, where do I send my son at the end of the day? And then
how tall is his son?
Mark, put how tall Chase is in the chat. And we have a 14-year-old. He said, I'm playing up as a 14-year-old on varsity next year at Albany Academy in 8th grade. Do you have any advice?
I mean, it's no more rules. I don't know what the rules are at Albany Academy. It could be a situation where you could play varsity as an 8th grader. If he is, then if he can do it, do it.
Yeah, it says, shoot, Lemoyne College of Syracuse just joined the NEC from D2. HBCUs make sense too. Get started some of these Coney schools like Mega Evans or Queens College.
Yeah.
That's real. Nope, we not doing that. Top 5 Lincoln players. No, we never going to ask the coach. Yeah. I'm already know. I think that's we don't never ask the coach who his top 5 players.
We wouldn't even know the top 5 because a lot of them didn't play at Lincoln.
Who's Darwin Ellis?
Buddha.
Okay. Seemed to have disappeared after Lincoln was over.
Nah, he's doing a great job. He's training kids. He's doing a lot. He's doing a lot in the community of Sheepshead.
Nice.
What she said, babe, you want to find Darwin. He's doing a lot.
That's great to hear.
No doubt. Well, listen, man, we're going to get you out of here. Tiny, I think you should really think about doing that exposure game. We'll call it the Tiny Morton exposure game or high school basketball. You know, we're affiliated with High School Basketball Weekly. We can put it out there and promote it. I got one of the biggest platforms. Brian got one of the biggest platforms from Facebook, TikTok,
happen,
YouTube.
bro.
Let's make it happen, brother.
Let's definitely make it happen. Let's talk as soon as we get off of this.
Bet.
The next day, let's make it happen. But I definitely want to make sure that these kids are at least trying to go to some of these JUCOs or black schools or or Division II, because they gotta have their hand in the basket somewhere. They can't just say, "I'm not a Division I player. Now I'm gonna go. You know, I'm gonna go try to get into the work field." Otherwise, we're gonna lose a lot, man. We're gonna lose a lot out of the community.
Marcel Smith said we need more people like y'all in the business of basketball. Salute.
Appreciate it.
And Munt says, thank you, Coach Tiny.
Appreciate it. Just tell me how to sound out of here.
Well, listen, I'm about to get you off the screen right now. Yo, Tiny, thank you, man, and I'll talk to you soon. Look, I'm off this whole week. We're both, so we're going to have some fun.
Yeah.
I'll call you, all right?
All right. All right, B.
Later, my man. Thanks for coming on, Coach. I'm calling you Bullseye from now on. Just letting you know.
I take that.
All right, peace. Yo, man, what? Listen, let's get this off the screen right now. Legendary, right?
Yeah, Coach is incredible. The amount of facts he was spitting, the inside scoop, so many things you learned just from listening to the guy. It was an absolute pleasure to have him on.
Yeah, I was only gonna go for like an hour tonight, bro. But he was just dropping bombs all over the place, dropping the mic and leaving.
He was awesome.
Listen, man. Look, we have another special guest Friday night. We got Coach Bud.
Let's go.
He's making up for. He's gonna come through on Friday. Man, I had so many guys. Coach Malloy was like, "Yo, Josh Powell said you guys are gonna bring him on." Everybody's like, "Yo, we need a spot. We need a spot in the show, Coach." So listen, man. Yo, appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, Chuck. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Much love.
It's so good to see you get some love on this show, Pooh, because you really do a great job, man. The kids, the community, you know, they're all showing you love, and you deserve it, man. You've been so awesome this season for me, at least.
Nah, and look, you know, after I brought you on a show, right? And I you know, we're just having a conversation. We're just getting more into what you do and everything. And I just felt it was like a synergy, right?
Yeah.
And the love that you have for what you do and helping these kids. And I just thought it would be a great move to bring you on to help me co-host this High School Basketball Weekly. And yo, in March, we have the originator of Basketball Weekly coming on the show.
Let's go.
So, you know, I think it may be a basketball heads show. I'm still thinking about it, but he definitely contacted me and said, you know, he's definitely willing to come on the show. And I think, you know, we should do him that justice and give him the platform and just, you know, maybe bring him on twice.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? But for those of you who don't know, I'm not going to tell y'all until it gets close to that time. So y'all stay tuned. Hey, yo, Coach B, man, y'all, look, I'm not even going to get him because we're going to save all the sports stuff to Friday because there's a lot more games.
That's right. Yep.
Do you know who won that step in that game? Did anybody know who won that step in that game?
I'll give you an update right now. Let's see what I got.
Appreciate you much. So yes, fact, definitely agree. Appreciate you, man.
I got no updates. Stepanak won 85-63.
Are you surprised?
I I was saying I wrote an article for NYC Hoops. Can anyone beat Stepanek? I don't know. I don't think so. They're rolling. I mean, Bland and Rittville, 51 combined. It'll be tough.
Yeah. Well, we're about to get out of here. It's that time, baby. We see y'all Friday. Special guest, another New York City legendary coach, Coach Lawrence Pollard, Thomas Jefferson head coach. We're about to be out of here. Yo, B, I'll holler at you Friday.
Talk soon. I might see you tomorrow. I'll be at St. Francis Prep.
Yeah, I'll see you at St. Francis Prep. I'm going to be there. No, I got a show tomorrow. I have a basketball head show tomorrow. But Friday, we may have to put the show back to Friday because I want to see that championship game.
All right, my man. Sounds good. I'll see you then.
No doubt. Peace.
Peace.